What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Welcome to the show. A few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and the message out. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Punchy.tv. And at any point during the show, you can call in. 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773, and we could talk about whatever. We can get into it. The deportation. We can talk about the Trump picks. We could talk about the ladies. We could talk about your husband acting. Listen, we can get into it. And you can call in and ask about it. 888-775-3773. And if for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or a comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com /Joel Friday TV. Send your question or comments there, or go directly to the YouTube live chat. Hit the super chat button. Also send your question or comments there, and I'll read them live on air. And we'll have some fun. Amazing stuff. Let's get into it. Shout out to the YouTube, Facebook, IG, Punchy.tv chat. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to all my listeners and watchers across the various platforms of Joel Friday TV. I appreciate it. Salute to you guys. Hat tip, all the above. Amazing stuff. Man, I want to get into some stuff with you guys. Some stuff that's in the news, some stuff that I feel that needs to be discussed, needs to be talked about, needs to be understood. And I want to get into it. So, as you guys know, as the world knows, Trump got elected. And even before Trump's election, there's been talk about a mass deportation. But even before talks about mass deportation, there's been a issue at the border for facts. There's been a big issue at the border for a long time. And we see the borders wide open, the illegals coming in here. Not going through the proper channels. We see and we've heard stories of gang-related immigration come through. We've heard attacks on U.S. citizens by illegal immigrants. We've heard a lot of stuff. And of course, there's ones who come across the border, though they should come through the right way in the proper channels, that don't come here to cause harm, that might really want to assimilate and be a citizen, and that may actually be working hard. Of course, there's those in the batch, but they still should come here and do it the right way. But nonetheless, on a mass scale, this illegal immigration thing in the United States is a problem. And there's a debate where people say it is a problem and it's not a problem. This has been a big debate for a very long time. The Democrats love to have them here because they have an agenda. And then Republicans are looked upon as racist and heartless and cold for wanting the illegals to come through the right way. But it took one man, Mr. Donald Trump, to say, and we don't know yet, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know the results, but it took one man to be bold enough to put his foot down and at least say no more. And he's assembling a team that is on board with him when it comes to putting his foot down. And one of those people on that team is Mr. Tom Homan, the new border czar for the Trump on the Trump team. And Tom is tough. Tom is tough. Tom is a matter-of-fact kind of guy. I play clips on my show of Tom, former police officer, tough guy, and I love that because right now we need somebody like that. And I want to get into that a little bit. And what is this mass deportation going to look like? Because what does that mean? Right? Because we got many illegal non-citizens in the country now that have been here for years. You know what I mean? That have been here for years, that have planted their life, that have children and children to where they're stapled into the United States, but yet they're still illegal, right? They've been here for years and years and years. So how do you just take them and throw them back to their own country where they built a life here in the U.S. and their children have built lives and all these things? What do you do? What does that look like? It's good questions because a lot of people are afraid. Mass deportation, what? And I know some illegals. And I happen to like the couple that I know. They're kind of cool. So what does that mean? Well, I want to get into the details of what I think it means and what I believe is going to happen when it comes to mass deportation. And we'll get into some other stuff. So this is from CBS News. I got some clips I want to play you guys. This is where Tom Homan talks about mass deportation plans on 60 Minutes before Trump's election win. Here we go.
I hear a lot of people say, the talk of a mass deportation is racist. It's threatening to the immigrant community. It's not threatening to the immigrant community. It should be threatening to the illegal immigrant community. But on the heels of historic illegal immigration crisis, that has to be done.
What would the largest deportation in American history look like to you?
Well, let me tell you what's not going to be first. It's not going to be a mass sweep of neighborhoods. It's not going to be building concentration camps. I've read it all. It's ridiculous.
But if mass deportation is not going to be, as you said, massive sweeps and concentration camps,
there'll be concentrated,
what is it?
There'll be targeted arrest.
Targeted arrest. That's the key word right there that I wanted to bring about. Because I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion. When I first heard about mass deportation, my thought was like, I don't know if Trump would actually go as far as uproot every single last illegal immigrant that is here in the United States. I didn't think that he was going to do that. I still don't think that he's going to do that. And I had said that before. I don't know if I said it on a podcast platform or not, but I knew I don't think that he's going to do that. And then I looked more into it, and I want to give you guys a key word. Tom said targeted arrests. And I love the idea of mass deportation, but what I think that they're going to do is targeted arrests. And what that means is the illegals that are evidently causing problems, criminals, drug activity, any kind of conspiracy or they are looked upon as a threat to the United States, those are the ones that are going to be uprooted, right? Those are going to be the ones that focus on. The ones who have been here, who are quiet, who seem to be non-threatening, I don't think they're going to get touched, to be honest. I don't think that a stance that hard, and it may not be time for that yet, right? I don't know. But I don't think a stance that hard is going to be taken with Trump yet. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think he's going to crack down on the ones here that are obviously causing crimes, the gang members and all that stuff, and the ones who look suspicious, the ones who got a record, the ones that got all this stuff that where they can define clearly as threatening to the U.S. Oh, they're going to kick those out, and as they should. But for those that are scared and who are illegal immigrants and they're wondering, shoot, does that mean I got to go back to a country I don't even know? You can relax. I don't think that is going to be the case for you. But either way, this is still a strong stance, which should put a little bit of fear in people who think about crossing the border or even think about doing things the illegal way. And I love that Trump and Tom Homan are in there to lay down the law like that. Amazing stuff. But let's move on, because obviously there's Democrats who disagree with this. They're like, this is racist. This is not love. Jesus would not behave in this way. We love all people. We love open arms. We love this. And specifically coming from women like Michelle Wu. Well, who's that? Good question. Michelle Wu is a Democrat mayor of Boston since 2021 and has funneled taxpayer funds to nonprofits that aid illegal aliens, and advocated for closing Boston police gang database, as well as for allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections. This is all from the Blaze Media right now. For allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections. So she's pushed for illegals to be able to vote in local elections, though they are not citizens. So that's who Michelle Wu is. And Wu is planning to run for re-election, reminding GBH News last week that Boston law prohibits police and city officials from helping federal authorities track down and deport illegal aliens. She don't want that to happen, right? While the laws on the books only guarantee passivity from local law enforcement, she intimated that the city might take an active role in impeding deportation efforts, noting that she has been planning for a number of different scenarios. So she doesn't want this to happen, right? She's protecting the illegals. And I want to get more into what that means, but I want to play you that news clip really quick of Michelle. And this is where Michelle talks about, this is from GBH News. Michelle talks about laws Boston have to protect illegal immigrants. Here we go.
The Boston Trust Act puts strict prohibitions on local law enforcement from being pulled into becoming the enforcement arm for the whims of whatever the sort of approach of federal immigration law might be. There are certain exceptions when there's for example, a particular type of warrant around particular types of criminal activity where and coordination allowed that around human trafficking and drug trafficking and cyber crimes and some specific instances. But the idea that certain local law enforcement agencies will be required or will be expected to participate in mass deportations of residents who have not been part of serious criminal activity just to fulfill this campaign promise, this is not something that is possible under the laws in Boston.
So basically what she's saying is that there's laws against police able to just go in there and uproot illegals. But she's saying unless it's on the grounds of criminal activity and they're deemed as a threat to society, then the police can come in. But the law that she is for, which is actually enacted in Boston, is that they cannot just go and uproot illegal citizens. So what she's basically saying is that non-threatening citizens, she wants to protect, right? Non-threatening illegal, that's what I meant. Non-threatening illegal immigrants, she's allowed to protect. As long as they're not threatening, she wants to be able to protect them, and that's what she's for. But my thing is that who gets to deem if they're threatening or not? You know what I mean? Like, who determines? Does she determine who's threatening or not? Because you know how oftentimes the women love everybody. Mama loves everybody, right? She's okay with everybody. Mama can't really put the foot down. Daddy got to do it, right? So is it up to her and her team to determine who is non-threatening or not? That's why I don't like women in politics, because they're oftentimes, most of the time, their view on things is distorted by emotion. It's just distorted. The waters are muddy. So it's hard to trust that protection of illegal immigrants, non-threatening ones, is going to be upheld properly. You know what I mean? It's hard to trust that. And she's the governor of Boston. So I'm just wondering what's up with that. But guess who came back through? Guess who came back through and was like, Guess what? I don't care if you liked it or not. I don't care whatever the case is, whatever you feel. And I hope that you, I'm paraphrasing what this person said, right? I hope that you know what you're doing, Miss Michelle Wu, because guess what? It's gonna happen anyway. Mr. Tom Homan goes on Newsmax. This is from X. Tom Homan responds to Michelle Wu on her trying to stop his deportation efforts. Here we go.
Defending our residents every possible way. Well, she's not very smart, I'll give her that. Because what I just said is President Trump's going to prioritize public safety threats. What mayor or governor doesn't want public safety threats out of their communities? I mean, that's her number one responsibility, is to protect her communities. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So she helps us, she gets the hell out of the way, because we're going to do it. And look, there's a clear line here, and they can't cross a clear line. I would suggest she read Title 8, United States Code 1324 III, that says, you can't harbor or conceal an illegal alien in front of law enforcement officers. So I hope she don't cross that line. They can not cooperate, but there are certain laws in place that they can't cross, and I hope she doesn't cross it.
Tom ain't playing. Tom ain't playing. Tom is ready. Tom is on a mission. That's what it seems like, right? Tom is on a mission. He has a job to do. He now has a green light to do it. Isn't that incredible? He has a green light to do it, and he's ready to do it. You can just tell. He's ready to do it. Because everybody, Tom and everybody, everybody knows that this stuff is getting out of control. And there needs to be some type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Some type of order in the town. There ain't no order. And it's because, like we've been talking about, I've been talking about on my show, the men are gone, weak. And because the men are weak, the devil, the enemy, Satan himself, the deceiver, the great deceiver, is working on the men's mind to keep them weak and allow them to allow all these crazy things to come in, right? Women in politics, almost a woman president. And it almost sounds like to the average ear that, oh, well, what you got against women, right? That's what people think. And ain't no shot at women. And ain't no attack on women. It's just not a woman's job. Not a woman's job. And everybody knows that. My dog know that. The rock in my shoe know that. So, Tom ain't playing with you, Michelle. Tom ain't playing. So I love that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get to some super chats here. And maybe some calls in a second. Joel talks for more than half of the show and then forces quick convos. That's not true. That's not true. Okay. Whose show are you watching? You watching JFTV? Are you watching me or are you going to watch the calls? I'm just playing. I love the calls. I got some more stuff I want to show you guys, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe take a call and then a super chat. And then I'll get back to some more mess. Ooh, because I got some more stuff to get to when it comes to this. They got some crazy people talking mess. I got to get into it. But really quick, let me go to William out of California. William, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, man.
How's it going, William?
Good. All right. Hey, James, hey, good show today, brother. Good show.
Shout out, James. Hey.
Yeah. Good subject. Yeah, Tom is not playing. And the combativeness with, we're not going to follow that rule with the mass deportation. If you don't hear what I'm saying, where do I hit you? If I hit you one place, you'll listen. And you know what that is? That's the pocketbook.
Yeah.
You said you guys are not going to supersede federal law, which
right.
is law.
Right.
And, they're going to hit you in the pocketbook. It's going to take away your federal funding, your allowance. So
don't play with the wrong. Don't play with the wrong people.
I think that's where it's headed. And I mean,
yeah.
Trump is coming in here with more power than any president in my lifetime.
Nice.
House and Senate.
Nice. And what makes you say that? And can you give us an example of how you
by having both the House and the Senate? See, a lot of things that he didn't get done. He actually did have Mexico pay for the wall by all means. He just didn't get a second term to finish it, and plus he didn't have both houses, House and Senate. I think at that time the Republicans had the House of Representatives and the Democrats had the Senate. Yeah. Now he has both. He doesn't have to do so much executive order. He can actually pass law. Nice.
And
that's perfect. Why you don't let women run the House.
So does he for sure have the House and the Senate?
Yeah, I think we did get both. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
let me confirm. But
check it out.
Yeah, I check it out. But I know for sure he had got the I think the Senate. I'll confirm. But either way, your point stands in that people are he's coming in heavy-handed, and I love that. And people can see it, and you can feel it, and you know what's happening.
Yeah.
So
it keeps you, Joel. It keeps you from doing all these executive orders. People don't realize what happens with the executive order when the new president comes. He throws all that in the garbage. I think Obama had about 600 of them. Or I don't know what number, it was way up there. Biden had a lot of them too. And then a lot of, for the last 4 years, black people thought that this was law. No, this is a lot of this stuff that you're getting, DEI, wokeness, and that stuff's executive order and just for the moment.
Yeah.
And, like you said, probably come at your neck for saying women shouldn't. The Mike Tyson event the other day, the fight wasn't that good. You know which was the better fight? Was the female boxing match. But they beat each other to a pulp.
Yeah.
It was not attractive. I mean, it was reality there was the better fight, but it's nothing to that. Said, look, these women all cut up and everything. And
I thought the same thing.
Somebody come after your neck about that statement about women shouldn't do this and that. I agree.
Yeah.
Because they end up not being that good at it.
Right. And it's not even like a shot at women being that.
Not at all.
You know, I mean, it's not even a shot at women at all. And that's how it's taken if you talk about any of this stuff.
They take it so hard, Joel. And have you noticed since the election, you see it all over Instagram, women are getting fired from their jobs because of their reaction to this election.
Yeah.
When they say they're not mad, they're mad.
Oh, they're mad, and I got some more clips coming up here soon. About. Are
you going to pull some of that up?
I'm gonna pull some of that up. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't realize that your job looks at. I'm not worried about it. I'm not working anymore. I don't have to.
Nice.
But I do, and I've been knowing this for years, that you do have to be careful what you put on your social media. Your employer will check it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of women right now. This has been a subject the last week. Their reaction to the election. There are women getting fired.
Yeah. Especially if they voted for Trump.
Well, no, most of them, black women, voted for Kamala.
Oh, and they're getting fired?
They're getting fired for their reaction on social media.
Oh, I see.
You know, talking about, if you guys get the police with the knee on your neck next time, don't call us. And, yeah.
Wow. I'm looking here on. According
if the cops got the knee on my neck, I don't think you could do anything about it anyway.
Right.
How about that?
Exactly. I'm looking at USAtoday.com, and they're saying Republicans win the House and the Senate. So you were right about that.
More power. That's more power than any president that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I've seen Reagan, and he was good, and he got a lot done. He stopped the Cold War. He got a lot done without having both chambers.
Nice. Well, that's
this guy. Trump's got a lot of power this time, man. And you're right. This guy is not playing with that deportation thing. They're coming.
I love it. And I love it too. And we'll see. Now all we can do is wait and see how it all unfolds. But I do think that Trump is on a mission. He's been on a mission for a long time. He could have retired. He could have stopped. He could have gave up, but he fought again to come back, and now he's here.
Not to interrupt you, but I understand. You're younger. You haven't seen a lot just yet.
Yeah.
Now you're going to see the difference between an executive order with a pen, just because you feel like it, versus having both.
Nice.
And making law.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, right on, William. I appreciate that.
You're still the love boat.
I'm still the love. That's right.
You need to pull up that show and look at it on YouTube. There used to be a weekly show, and I used to always say, Joel used to name his show. It's definitely a love boat, but I'm very proud of your show.
Thank you, man.
I support you very hard, and let you get to the next caller.
I appreciate it, William. Thank you, man. Call me again.
Take care.
All right. Nice. Amazing stuff. 888-775-3773. 888-775-3773. Get in there if you want to get in there. Nice. Every once in a while, I'll talk about this kind of stuff. If it interests me, I'll get into politics. And I just been really heavy on the deportation thing because I'm in real time just by paying attention. And I'm not out there like looking, is there illegal? No. Like I'm talking about just observing and living my daily life, seeing on social media, hearing different stories, hearing the news that this illegal immigration thing is out of control. But also I've worked in recent times I know illegals that are here. I know how they get treated. They get treated the best. They get treated the best. I know how it's doing. I also live in Los Angeles, so I see the areas that have been taken over by illegal immigrants. I can see the difference. So when all this came about on deportation, I understand it. I understand why it needs to be done. Because it's about cleaning it up. So Hake said Joel and Hake got illegal friends. Yeah. And I would hate to be like, hey, you gotta go. You know what I mean? Because they were like nice people. They were nice people, but and that's why I say that I don't think that Trump is gonna uproot those who are non-threatening. Whether that's the right thing to do or not, that's up for debate. Whether he should do a clean sweep is up for debate, but I think now it may not be, and I could be wrong about this, it may not be the time to go that deep into it. But hey, we'll see. We'll see what needs to be done, and we'll see what happens. But either way, something's going down. And it needs to. It's the right thing. Let me move on. So, The View, Lord have mercy. The View. The ladies on The View at it again. They are at it again. The ladies on The View discuss whether or not they should be around family on Thanksgiving that voted for Trump. Let's get into that, Lord.
There is a push, I think just a societal norm that if somebody is your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think the answer is absolutely not. So if you are going to a situation where you have family members, where you have close friends who you know have voted in ways that are against you, like what you said, against your livelihood, and it's completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why, to say, I have a problem with the way that you voted because it went against my very livelihood and I'm not going to be around you this holiday. I need to take some space for me.
I've been around people who have different politics than me, and it's never gotten in the way of having friendships with them. I wouldn't have had any friends.
I wouldn't have had any holidays if I had to only pick the ones where everyone agreed with me.
I'm going to disagree. I completely understand her point because I really do feel that this candidate, President-elect Trump, is just a different type of candidate. It's more of a moral issue for me. You, along with Millie and along with John Kelly, warned us about how deeply flawed he was as a candidate. And so I think when people feel that someone voted not only against their families, but against them and against people that they loved, I think it's okay to take a beat.
Lord have mercy, Sonny. Sonny is that lady with the curly hair. Listen, I just want to say that this is why women should not be in politics. Get them out of there. Get them out. Deport them from politics. Because politics is too messy for most women to handle. It's not for them to deal with, because what happens is the chaos of politics affects women. It really affects them. They start to identify with it, and their anger gets involved. And now they start to think that people are politics. And then they start to fight about it. And then now they can't even go talk to people or have conversations with people because they're judging them as evil because they voted for somebody who they don't agree with. This is why women don't go into politics. Because it's very hard for them to separate themselves from the chaos. It's very hard. This is why men go out and hunt and do these things, right? Because they can handle the chaos, right? And they can still be men about it. Women, for the most part, I'm not saying all, women for the most part get sucked in to the tornado of chaos and then now become governors and now run for president and now can't go to Thanksgiving because you don't want to see your cousin who voted other than you. And now politics is an identity. Like, it just gets too crazy. Get out of there. Sonny, the hate runs deep. Those girls on The View, maybe not all of them, I don't know all of them, but the hate runs deep. It runs deep because they're identifying with politics. They're identifying with what they do. And the way she talks about Trump, a deeply immoral person. And if whoever voted for him at Thanksgiving, it's okay to take some space. What is wrong with you as an individual if you have to take space because somebody disagrees with your politics? You're the problem. That goes for everybody. You know what I mean? If you got to take space because you think that you're going to overreact, you're the evil. You're the problem. Take them out of there. Take the ladies out of politics. I'm telling you, it'll be better for your family. It'll be better for society. It'll be better for the women individually, for them to focus on women stuff. Leave the men stuff to the men. And I ain't saying that you can't poke your head in the room and look around and be like, oh, just see what's going on. Look at the news. Poke your head in the room and just look around and see what's going on. But what I'm saying is don't go into the room now and try to fix the problem. It just ain't supposed to be that way. And it ain't a shot at women. I don't hate women, and I ain't trying to be mean. It's just the truth. And there's some men that don't even need to be in there. You know what I'm saying? But women are in the way. Women are in the way when it comes to this stuff. Politics and all that stuff. You're in the way. You're in the way. And it sounds cute for like people like Michelle Wu, who wants to protect everybody and look. It sounds cute until somebody you know close to you is affected by it. Look at this girl. I don't know the full story, so I won't get too much into it, but look at Laken Riley, right? Killed by illegal immigrant. Family has to suffer. And you know what I mean? There are some things that need to be strong and tough. They need to be no tolerance. They need to be, we ain't playing. This way, nobody even tests you. Nobody, it has to be, some things have to be so tough that when people start to wonder if they should, because you know Satan will get busy on everybody's mind, right? Satan is the ultimate deceiver. So as soon as Satan is on the mind saying, you should go get that person, beat him up or kidnap him or whatever, reality sets in. Even with that thought, reality sets in. The truth sets in once you realize, wait, if I do that, it's a wrap for me. That's a bad idea. The law, it should be so tough. Certain things, right? Certain things. I'm not saying everything should be all crazy tough because the government get too crazy. But certain things should be so not even thought about because the consequences are far greater for you doing it than you actually breaking the law. And it needs to be that tough. And when women get in there, they soften those lines. They blur those lines. They make it softer. They make it okay. They make it nice. They make it sweet. And then the people breaking the laws are like, thank you, mama. But then we'll kill mama. They'll say, thank you for letting me in, and then turn around and kill you. I'm telling you. So shout out Donald Trump. Shout out Tom Homan. Shout out to the team that are working on all this stuff to get the country where it needs to be. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But Lord have mercy, we got to do something because there's a battle going on for sure. For sure. Amazing stuff. Let me check super chats really quick. And then I'll get to back to the calls. Let me see real quick. Oh. I do have a super chat that I wanted to get to that I forgot to get to from yesterday that I'm going to get to in a second here. But I have Allison, a first-time caller out of Nevada that I want to get to really quick here. Allison, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Allison. Allison. Okay, okay. We're going to try Allison again. Let me get to the super chat then. Lori with the donut. Oh, Allison's gone. Lori with the donut says, hey, Joel, love when you said denial stunts growth. So true. Also, if other people see or receive the fruits of the Spirit from inside me, I really don't realize it because God is doing it, not me. It's effortless on my part. I'm just living my life, not trying to do good deeds in vain, which doesn't help anyone. You're so right that fruits are more spiritual and not physical. Thank you, sir. Right on, Lori. You're 100% right. Lori's referring to yesterday when Zenny in the chat asked, in the YouTube chat asked, what are the fruits of the Spirit? And I explained how the fruits of the Spirit are fruit that comes from you naturally, not by your good deeds, not by your efforts, not by you doing this and this and that, but it comes through you because it's the light of God, the Spirit of God working on your behalf, right? So when you do specific things, like let's just say there's a time to give, or there's a time to be patient, or there's a time to be kind, or whatever it may be, when those things happen naturally, then they bear fruit. But when you try to force them because the Bible said to do it, or the pastor said to do it, and now you're just out there every day waking up in the morning with a whole schedule of good deeds, that ain't from God. That's not fruit. That's bad fruit, actually. It has to come through you, and it has to work on your behalf. You don't try to do good deeds. That makes no sense at all. And I used to do that for a very long time. You don't try to be a good person. You don't try to do good things. These things have to happen on your behalf, right? God has to lead you. God has to draw you in, renew your mind. And when he does that, it just starts flowing through you. But like Lori said, you have to be honest. Because denial does stunt the growth. Because denial is not honesty. You're not looking at yourself and being honest about what you see. So God can't work on you. He can't draw you in. You got to be honest. You got to look within and be honest about what you see. All the ugly, the nasty, the dirty, you be honest about it. And God set you free. And he'll draw you in. And your life will change. And you start becoming these things. You know what I'm saying? You become it. But if your heart is not humble, if you don't have a lowly heart, lowly spirit, quick to repent, quick to be honest, then God can't work on you because you're too puffed up. Too puffed up. He can't add new. He can't fill your cup because your cup is already full. You think you got all the answers. You think you know everything. You think that you're right. You think that you're right all the time. You think you got all the answers. God will leave you alone there. Because didn't he say in the Bible somewhere that all must return to the likes of, I'm paraphrasing, all must return to the likes of a child, right? A child is perfect in faith. They don't have no worries. They don't have no doubt. They're just free. And they have no efforts in trying to be a better person. Think about that. A child has no desire to be a better person. But they grow. They still grow. Doesn't mean that they don't grow. Doesn't mean that they... No, it's that they have this natural faith within them that trusts that God is... And they're not even like, oh, God is leading me. But it's already in them, right? God is already working in them. And they're being led to grow and learn and overcome because they have no preconceived anything. No preconceived teachings, no preconceived ideas, no preconceived morals. There's no nothing. They're just living and they're in the moment and learning from the moment. And being in the moment and trusting the moment is faith. It's perfect faith. So, thank you, Lori. I appreciate it. I didn't expect to get into a rant about that, but you triggered me, Lori. You triggered me. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate it 100%. Let me go to, I got to end here soon, so let me just run through these calls here. Let me see. Let me go to Allison out of Nevada. You can just throw her on, Derek. Allison out of Nevada, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, how are you?
All is well, Allison. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Nice.
I just wanted to make a comment on what you were saying about women in politics.
Yes.
I agree with everything you say.
Right on.
Because I feel that women don't control their emotions very well.
Yeah.
And so since they lead off of their emotions instead of like men who use their logic.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why it contradicts why women need to stay in like behind scenes of things. And that's not to be like a misogynist or whatever, but like it's kind of just noticeable, and it's kind of like if you have a brain, you can see for yourself that that's how it goes.
Right.
And so like, and if you have eyes, you can see where that is. If you have ears, you can hear that women can't like really make strong points for themselves when debating against a man.
Exactly.
Like I have an example where I saw this video, and this lady and her mom were trying to bring one of those toy trucks into the garage through the back door, but the garage was wide open.
Oh yeah.
Like that's just women logic would be that, where a man would just take it through the garage.
Yeah. No, you.
And so like.
No, go finish your points. Go for it.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
No, I was just gonna say is that like I love how you say that behind the scenes is where they belong, and it's not a put down, and I guess maybe that sounds bad to people who don't see what we're talking about. But it's just the fact that women are designed away and men are designed away, and women are getting involved in places that they have no business being. And it's not against them at all. It's not against them at all. It's like, you don't belong here. So that's the problem that we're seeing for sure.
I agree. I think allowing women to even have the right to vote on top of allowing them to be promoted up into a CEO position, I think that's just all a mess.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't work out. I mean, you see, and this isn't to offend anybody, and if it does, oh well, but like you as a woman, you should stay home, take care of your children, take care of your husband, clean your house, do all the things that traditional women have done through history, where all of a sudden it's like flipped, and now women are trying to like you said, like bombard themselves, where it's a man's position to take care of things, protect, provide, all those things. And it's like, I don't know what evil like has come to these women, but there's also this blue bracelet like movement that's happening, if you've heard of that.
No, what is it?
It's for the 4B movement. Have you heard of that one?
Oh yeah, I heard of that mess.
So they're gonna wear blue bracelets with the doctor masks, and so that they can identify who was a Democrat and who wasn't, because they feel like they have to protect themselves because their lives are in danger.
Wild stuff. And that's what I want to ask you. What do you think from your perspective? Why do you think that women are getting involved in what is not meant for them to be? Why do you think that it's changing in such a big way now?
Oh boy. Because I think it all starts within the home. So either their father was not the head of the household and the mother wore the pants.
Right.
Or there was no father at all and they were raised by their mother, and since their mother would have hated their father, they took out all that retaliation on the child. So as the child grows up, she now hates her father as well as other men. Yeah. So she finds a superiority within herself against any man ever.
Yep. And then they tried. Go ahead, finish your point.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, finish your point, and then I'll make it afterwards. Go ahead.
That's just my third party view of understanding it. Then that's all I was gonna say.
No, it's true. What you're saying is it does start in the home, and there's no authority figure that puts them in their place, even and I say put into place in the proper way, right? Not like beat you up, but just just know your role. You know your role, and when as a daughter or whatever is growing up, she of course rebels in a little bit of ways, but the father is right there to lay the law down, and then she just learns over time why men behave this way and why women behave this way, and then they don't have a desire when they grow up to do all these crazy things. And I think I think that the women who do have this desire to do all these crazy things is because they're actually looking for the father's love, but instead they're replacing it with a CEO position or money or status, and thinking that that's going to make them feel strong and tough. But what they're really looking for is a real man to put them in their place.
100%, I agree. And with to comment on putting them in their place like appropriately.
Yeah.
The problem today with that is there's so many women that will call that like domestic violence or like
Right.
they'll falsify something to like the police that like if someone raises their voice at them, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but like no one's even touched you. Your words cannot physically hurt you. So like me speaking up louder than you is not me coming at you in any way other than you need to respect me.
Right.
And like I don't understand why, besides them just hating men and like whatever trauma they have from their household.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't quite it makes sense to me enough for me to explain myself on why I feel the way I feel, but I don't get it.
Well, it's like what I've realized, and what I'm realizing myself as well, is that people are just blind and can't see, and that's why we're not supposed to judge, because we're not seeing the full picture of how messed up or why people are messed up the way they are. Like you were saying before, you know, it starts in the home. There's all kind of variables that we don't quite know. All we see is our first impression of this person, and they're acting crazy, wild. But they're blind and can't see. They're just lost, looking for love and then identifying with silly things. So we just have to see it and recognize that it's crazy, but at the same time not judge them for it or put them down because they're just blind and can't see.
And do you think possibly another big reason for the women to have these egos that they can like be over a man? Do you think that has to come from like a simp type male that gives them that ego?
For sure, because like I was saying before, is that when a woman starts to feel this way, there's no man to check her around, right? So when her ego's starting to get inflated, instead of a man checking her and saying, hey, you're out of line, and then she gets back in her place, that's not happening. So the women their egos are getting inflated and they're getting more lost into space. And the men are around them, especially today, are like, you know what, you're right, you're tough, you're strong, and encouraging them because they're weak, and they're actually handing the throne over to people who shouldn't have it. So it's definitely a big part of it is men being weak and not standing up.
Yeah. I guess in today's time, everything that's good is bad, and everything that's bad is good now, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I guess we just have to see where things go. I hope with Trump in office that it goes somewhat back to normal.
Yeah.
Like this all dies out a little bit, hopefully.
Well, I hope so too. I think that there's going to be a shift that happens. But I think ultimately, like every individual needs to work on their own lives, work on themselves, right? And make sure they're right and they're overcoming and growing. So that way, your life and your household will reflect what is right, and people will see that and learn from it too. So we just got to focus on self, and hopefully Trump will do his job in the public.
Yeah, I want to be able to reach out to some of these women and maybe possibly like knock some common sense back into them, but I don't even know how to go about that because I just feel they're so off the wire.
Well, if you're living your life properly, right, and you're working on yourself and you're doing your part, the light within you will just shine, and the women they just will want to know what's going on with you, and you'll be able to input your advice.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering the call and talking with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, Allison. I appreciate it. Call me again. Great points.
You have a good day.
All right, you as well. Amazing stuff. I got to end, but really quick, I am going to try to squeeze in this last call here because they've been waiting for a little bit, so I am going to squeeze that in. But I do just want to say really quick, great call from Allison. She understands that the women are out of control. And she also understands that as a woman, that there's things that they just don't need to be involved in. And women are just lost in their mind. And there's also, because no men have been around to tell her, you're lost in your mind. You're tripping. Come back to earth so they can actually get back. So they're compensating and trying to fill a void with careers and president of the United States and governors, and they're trying to fill all this void with other things. And that's why you see it all on their face, and you see it on their lifestyles and the things that they're into. It reflects, right? They're not bearing good fruit. I'm just saying. Let me go to JC at Little Rock, Arkansas. JC, a few minutes left here. How's it going? Oh, your phone's so bad, JC. Can you hear me? Oh, no, your phone is so bad. I can barely make out what you're saying. I can't. You gotta call me tomorrow, JC, because I can't even hear you really at all. Call me tomorrow, JC. I appreciate it. I tried, but I really can't hear him. So, well, you guys obviously can hear that I can't hear him, but in case JC thinks I'm lying. Anyway, y'all, I gotta go. Amazing stuff. Oh, crap. Before I go, I got to get to these super chats. I ain't leaving without doing it. I ain't leaving. I got to do these super chats really quick because they came in, but I had to make these points and I couldn't get to them right away, but we're going to get to them real quick. Let me see. Amazing stuff. I appreciate the calls too coming in today. William, Allison, appreciate it. And super chats, Lori with the super chat. And I got more super chats here. Chaz, Lord Chef. Oh, I guess I missed this one on Monday. Wow, I didn't even know I missed it. Super Monday, start the Monday right. Maybe I did get to that, but just in case I didn't, I appreciate it, Chaz. Harmony Grits. Shout out Harmony with the super chat, no message. Right on, Harmony Grits. Appreciate it. Amy with the super chat. Good call, Joel. Fun topic. Amazing stuff. I think that was from today. Lin Yan Chin. Men have been replaced. Hold up. Men have been replaced by tangent riding mouth breeders. None are men. They are all mama class beings that have no focus, just hype/mess. I'll attempt to translate is that men have been replaced by the false version of, are you talking about men and women? But the false version of authority. The real authority ain't in there, which represents the men. And even the men that are in there, they still doesn't mean they have authority, right? And that's what Lin Yan Chin refers to as tangent riding mouth breeders. None are men. They're all mama class beings. So you could be referring to the women in politics, probably. That's probably what he means. But yeah. We need authority back. Authority. That's what we need. Authority. And that'll change a lot. Authority. I ain't talking about fake authority, screaming and yelling and fighting. Screaming, yelling, and fighting. That's not authority. That's just Satan's game of pretending like it's powerful. No, authority is you can say nothing, but your presence is felt. That's authority. That's what Jesus had. So that's what we need. All right, y'all, I gotta go. Lord have mercy. We gotta amazing stuff. American Anchor Baby is coming in at 4 p.m. Make sure you guys tune into his show. Amazing stuff. Joel Friday TV across the board. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Punchy TV. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Excuse me. Follow the network. Follow the Punchy Network. Follow all the guys, all the hosts. James Hake, Jesse Lee Peterson, Nick of the American Anchor Baby. I don't know if I'm allowed to say Nick's full name, so I just say Nick of American Anchor Baby. And myself, Joel Friday TV. Subscribe, like, and share. Amazing stuff. You don't need to listen to nobody else. No, I'm just playing. But thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I gotta go. Until next time, see you on the flip. Bye.